Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews. Today we got our final beer of the evening. This is a collaboration brew. This is from Dougie's, Dugges. I'm probably butchering that all to hell. Brewery, which is brewery. Imperial Stout. They're out of Landvetter, Sweden. Um, Imperial Stout, guys. This thing comes in at a whopping 10%. Right on the side of the label it says collaboration brew. We did this stout with Hunter and Sons and Round Hill Roastery of Bath, England. They brought the coffee. We brewed the beer, a fruity floral Ethiopian Sidamo Dimtu in a chocolatey roasty stout. Says Imperial Coffee Stout on the bottom of the label here. Dugges and Hunter and Sons. 330 milliliters, 10.0% ABV. And this was sent to me by Henrik over in Sweden. I think this is the final beer of the ones he sent me. I'm expecting good things from this, guys. 10% coffee stout. I'm anxious to get this into the glass and see what we have here. The last couple that I've done that he sent me were fairly unimpressive. So I'm hoping this is going to wind up the package that he sent from me, and it's going to be out freaking standing. That's what I'm hoping for, guys. And this is not an export beer that you can buy here. This actually came from Sweden. He bought these there, packaged them up, and sent them to me. A lot of times on these exported beers, they'll brew different batches to be exported, lower ABV or whatever the case may be, to come to the United States or North America. Because a lot of times these will be sent to Brazil and other places in South America too. So I don't know what the distribution is or who's importing, exporting beers into the country. But this is not one that's been imported here. This was actually bought there, packaged up, and sent here to me. This is what they are drinking there in Sweden. And he sent a little note here. It says Dougie's, or however that's pronounced, Dugges, / Hunter and Sons, the Sidamo Dimtu, Dimtu, Imperial Coffee Stout. He says, well, Greg, this one's in English, your mother's tongue. So I leave you with this. And then he says, you're a great reviewer. Enjoy the beers and drive safely. Well, Henrik, I don't drink and drive. That's why I do all the reviewing here. I don't go out and have 10%ers out in a bar and try to drive somewhere. Homie, don't play that anymore. Did when I was a young buck, but not anymore. The DUIs over here, if you get caught drinking, probably even just one of these, they write you up for it. Even if you don't blow a drunk in a meter there, which is like 8.808% here in Virginia, they can write you up for impaired driving, which still costs you. And it's around 10 grand, and you lose your license. I mean, I just don't do that. It ain't worth it, guys. Some of you young, there's still a lot of young people, and in my days I bar hopped from one to the other and drank all kind of stuff and felt very lucky in my old age now that I never got a DUI, knock on wood, because it's not worth it anymore. The days of drinking and driving are over, especially in this town where I live. So I try to do these beers here. I don't drink these big monster beers. If I was to go out to a bar and they had this, I would drink one, and then I would be very scared to drive after I've had that one. So if you've had two of these, good luck. That's all I can tell you. Because more than likely, if there's a road check, you're going to be in the back seat of a police car. That's the way it is here. So a lot of places, if you live in a rural area where you don't have that problem, yeah, you might get away with it. Then again, you might hit somebody head on and hurt somebody, yourself or some innocent people. So it's not worth it. Drink responsibly, guys. If you're going to drink a beer of this magnitude, do it at home. Or at least have a designated driver. Call a taxi, Uber, whatever you got to do. Don't try to say, oh, I'm okay, and then you go through that road check, and before you know it, you're out doing this on the side of the road, walking in line, and then you got the handcuffs on in the back of a police car. Not a fun scene, trust me. Not been there, but I know a lot of people who have. It's not worth it. It's not. All right, that's all we have to talk about on this beer. So, and I've read you what he said. The commercial description here on Rate Beer says, we did this stout with Hunter & Sons and Round Hill Roastery of Bath, England. They brought the coffee, we brewed the beer. Fruity, floral, Ethiopian, Sidamo Dimtu, a chocolate roasty stout. So, basically the same thing that I told you that he sent me. So that's all we need to talk about. 10%. I don't have the IBUs listed here. Let me look one other place. I do not have the IBUs on this. And I don't know what the vintage is on the bottle, whether it was done in 2016, 2015, 2014, 2002, 1914. I don't have any idea when this beer was put in the bottle. And I'll look a little closer. It's got a dark beer in a brown bottle. I don't see anything on the label telling me that, what vintage it is or when they did it. Underneath there it says best for, which is their best before date, and then it's got something I can't even read underneath there. So I don't have any idea, guys. Most of it's written in English, but there is some stuff that's written in Swedish or whatever that language may be, and it tells you what the ingredients are here. So I will look one more time when I come back and see if there's anything written on the bottle, but I kind of doubt it. I very seriously doubt that there is. Well, let's get it open. Like I said, final beer of the evening for me. Winding it up with a 10%er. Oh, and on the cap there is something written on the top of the cap, and I cannot read it. I am going to have to put my Santa Claus glasses on here, guys, to even be able to see what they've tried to write. And I cannot read it. It's a black cap with dark brown writing on it. I cannot make out what it says here. It looks like it's almost a 2012. No, it looks like it's got 01, 1/2, 2020. So I would probably say that is a best before date, which I am not a fan of. So are they telling us best before December 21st of 2020? Today it's 2017, and for 10%, that's probably okay, but for a beer that has coffee in it, that is not okay. You would not want to sell a coffee beer that low. Trust me, the coffee will fade, plumb out like hops do on a double IPA. So, got a problem with that. Like I said, I'd much rather see a bottled on date, so I know how old the beer is, especially if it's brewed with coffee, just like I do with my IPAs and double IPAs. Put the bottled on date and let me decide when I want to have it by to get the freshest of the amount of coffee or the freshest amount of hops in the beer. That's it. Alright, it's time. Let's pop the cap on this. Absolutely zero hiss. None. Like it's uncarbonated or flat. I sure hope it's not. I got absolutely no hiss. None. Zero. Nada. Straight down the center. It says here the cheese and buttery brie good Havarti Swiss. Goes well with your chocolate dishes. There's a little bit of carbonation because I'm getting a little bit of a head. Meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glass for the pint, back-and-on tumbler snifter, oversized wine glass. Got my favorite snifter. And for a 10%er, it's probably going to say you can cellar it. Yep, can cellar it, but don't do it. Got coffee in it, it's going to fade. over into the light. It is pretty dark, pitch black, guys. Let's get a nose on it. Rich roasted malt. Slight hint of some coffee. I was hoping for more coffee influence on the nose. It may be in the taste though. I am getting a slight hint of it, but I was expecting a little bit more coffee. And it might be in the taste. It may blow me away on the taste. Hints of dark fruit, maybe hints of tobacco and licorice in here. Rich roasted malt is standing out more than anything else. Not much, and a little bit of alcohol too. Slight hint of the 10%. Well, it's time. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Henrik. Oh yeah. Definitely give me the coffee on the taste. Big time on the taste. That is good. That is very, very good. And as it warms up, those aromas, the coffee aromas are going to come out. It's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees, and a lot of times they're a little more subdued. Once it warms up, I mean, they'll be all up in the front seat. A little alcohol in the nose, but not too much on the taste. Tells me it's a well-made beer. That is very, very tasty, guys. I would drink this if I was over there. I would buy this beer if I was over there. To me, though, just my 2 cents, and you know me, I gotta put my 2 cents in. It would probably could use a little lactose to give that sweetness, to let that sweetness stay there instead of the yeast eating all that up. Maybe a little bit of flaked oats to get a little bit creamier mouthfeel. Very, very tasty though. It is a very nice beer. I am so glad. The last two was kind of unimpressive, and this is pretty damn good. So we're going to probably wind this up on a positive note from the beers that Henrik sent me. Nice coffee on the taste. Very, very nice. This would be a great beer to put in a bourbon barrel if it didn't have coffee in it, which is going to fade. Unless they reintroduce some coffee after it comes out of the barrel. Because a lot of the brewers, even over here, especially over here, want to do a coffee beer, then they'll put it in a barrel for 6, 8 months, 12 months, and then when they get it out and bottle it, the coffee's already faded all out by then, because they don't reintroduce coffee to it. And coffee's like hops, guys, it fades over time, even in a barrel. So, very nice. Well, let me sip on this, let it come up to room temperature, let her taste it, and let's see where we end up on this. Kind of pleasant. Very nice. I'm liking this. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Very tasty beer, guys. Like I said earlier, my 2 cents. I think they should have used a little bit of lactose and maybe some flaked oats for a little creamier mouthfeel. I am getting the bittersweet chocolate, roasted malt. Very well made beer for a 10%er. The coffee is definitely there. The only fuss I've got about it, they're using this enjoyed by, best by, whatever by date on the cap, which is very, very almost impossible to read with brown, dark brown writing on a black cap. Tell me when it was bottled. That way I'll know how fresh the coffee is and whether I want to buy it or not. Not an enjoyed by date of 2020 or whatever it's got written on here. It's virtually impossible to read this writing on this dark cap. And you wouldn't want to keep the spirit of 2020. The coffee would be completely all gone by then. So, just like I tell the brewers over here in the United States that brew these beers and do these silly ass best by, enjoy by dates, put a bottle on date on it. And that way I'll know if it's 1 month, 6 months, 12 months old or whatever, when the beer was put in there. Especially since you brewed it with coffee, I want to know when it was put in the bottle to get that freshest coffee flavor. If I pick this up and it's 6 months old or 12 months old, and that may make a decision of whether I want to buy it or not, because the coffee may have faded a little bit over time. So just like I tell the breweries over here, these enjoyed by, best by dates, used by dates are horse hockey. They're for the benefit of the brewer, not the consumer. So tell me when it was put in the bottle or the can. That's what I want to see. And you guys, like these, even though it's a good beer, tasty beer, that you use these used by, enjoyed by, best by dates, you suck. Put the bottled on, put the frickin' bottled on date on there, and let me decide when I want to have it by. That way I know when it was put in the bottle and how old it is to get these coffee flavors. So, no matter if you come from Switzerland or you come from Tennessee, Virginia, California, bottled on date, canned on date, not best by, used by, enjoyed by, whatever by, kiss my ass by. Tell me when it was put in the bottle or the can. That's what I want to see. And if you don't, you suck. So, that's where we're going to leave it. Final check. Very tasty, guys. Very, very tasty. Nice coffee aromas. The other half, she loved it. Thought it was very tasty. I do too. I think it's a very tasty beer. My only fault on this is they're enjoyed by, best by, used by, whatever date they're printing on the top of this cap, which you can't hardly read anyway. Is my only fuss. If it had a bottled on date on it, and I knew when it was put in there, it may get to 10. But it does not. It gets to 9. It is a tasty beer. Like I said, I told you what I thought as far as putting a little lactose and maybe even a little bit of flaked oats in there to get a little creamier mouthfeel. It is a tasty beer. I would buy this if I was over there. And I knew how fresh it was. That's the key, how fresh it is, especially when it's done with coffee. Because it fades. It fades over time, just like hops. I want to make that clear. You would not want to buy this beer in 2020. Trust me, you will not get any coffee notes at all. So the freshness of the beer is key when you're brewing a hoppy beer or a beer with coffee in it. So it doesn't matter whether it's 5% or 10%. That's irrelevant to me. The ABV will let the beer keep, but you're losing flavor. You're losing aromas. So gotta have that before it gets to 10 for me, guys. 9 out of 10. Numeric rating on this, guys, since it doesn't have any flaked oats or lactose in it, it's still an A beer, but I'm gonna give it a 95, not a 99. These guys can do better than that, and the only reason they put these enjoyed by, best by, used by dates on it is for their benefit, so they can sell more of the beer. Oh yeah, it's still good. It's 2020 on the label, on the cap, or whatever. No, that don't fly in my book, guys, at all. Nary at all, I say. Still a tasty beer. If I was over there, I would probably buy this beer if I couldn't find one that had an actual bottled on date. Very tasty. A good beer for the final beer of the evening for me. 95 for me, 9 out of 10. Over to Beer Advocate, they say, nyet, nyet. No score. Not enough people. There's not been 10 people to comment on this beer. And I understand that. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 98 overall and 83 in the style. I take that with a grain of salt. It is an A beer, guys. Trust me. And finally, for Untapped, they have it at 3.96, which is in their B plus A minus range. So, give them the benefit of the doubt. A minus on that. I'm giving it a little bit better grade than that with an A with a 95 grade. So if you've had this one from Sidamo Dimtu, I'm probably butchering that up, but that's how it looks like it is to me, D-I-M-T-U. Let me know what you think. Very nice beer. I enjoyed it. Henrik, thanks again, my brother, for the wonderful beers that you have paid for and shipped from Sweden, which was not a cheap thing to do. I do appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. You are a gentleman and a scholar, and I know you spent a lot of money on doing that, so thank you, sir. I do appreciate it. Guys, if you've had this one, let me know what you think. Come on back tomorrow. Let's take something out of that bridge. See you then.